Hey guys, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering TCG pack opening here at the Games Repository. More Journey into Next for you. Let's dive on in. Okay, and here we have our lovely marketing card. And a mountain. So, onto the pack proper. Grim Guardian, a card we touched on briefly, can be useful as a way to force some extra damage onto your opponent in Limited. Had to be playing quite a lot of enchantment cards though. Cast into Darkness, pseudo removal for black, -2, -0 and can't block. Kind of useful. Desecration Plague, 3 colourless, 1 green, destroy target enchantment or land. Could be quite useful to stall your opponents in Limited. Maybe as a sideboard card in Constructed, but it'd be quite budgety. Bloodcrazed Hoplite, 1 colourless, 1 black for a 2/1. We talked about him briefly before. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Bloodcrazed Hoplite but +1/+1 counter onto it, thanks to its heroic. Whenever a +1/+1 counter is placed on Bloodcrazed Hoplite, remove a +1/+1 counter from target creature opponent controls. Useful if your opponent is playing a lot of heroic themselves. So again, possibly useful in Limited. Ashani's Presence, not a bad little strive card, part of the cycle. Makes things indestructible and pumps them, good for forcing extra damage through. Hoplite, a little Satyr Hoplite again, for a 1/1 with heroic, not a bad 1-drop, talked about him before. Pin to the Earth, we've spoken about it briefly before. Again, you can turn a big creature into a wall. Not great. Has some use in Limited. Mortal Obstinacy. 1 white. Enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice Mortal Obstinacy. If you do, destroy target enchantment. Much like the red version that destroys artifacts. Has some use, 1 mana to give your creature +1/+1. Quite good for triggering heroic. It has some use, particularly you can destroy enchantment creatures. Not bad. Here we are, Flame Speaker's Will, the red version that allows you to destroy artifacts. Not as useful as the white one because you can't. There are fewer artifact creatures than there are enchantment creatures in this block. However, +1/+1 for 1 is good for activating your heroic. Once again, not bad in Limited. Aerial Formation, 1 blue, Strive. Aerial Formation costs 2 colours and 1 blue more to cast for each target beyond the first. Any number of target creatures each get +1/+1 and gain flying to end of turn. Great card for forcing damage through. You can give all of your creatures evasion and give them +1/+1. Great way to surprise an opponent in Limited. Ritual of the Returned, 3 colours, 1 black. Exile target creature card from your graveyard. Put a black zombie creature token onto battlefield. Its power is equal to the card's power, and its toughness is equal to that card's toughness. An okay way to recycle creatures. In Limited, it could have some use. If one of your big bombs is killed, you can use this. So for 4 mana, you can get another big bomb. Has some uses in Limited, not so many in Constructed. Fleet Feather Cockatrice, a personal favourite of mine. I talked about it before in Limited. It's potentially removal at instant speed. You can get a creature at instant speed and you can monstrify that creature late game. Quite a well-rounded mid to late game card for Limited. Here we have Eidolon of Rhetoric, 2 colours, 1 white for a 1/4. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Once again, has some use as a sideboard card in Constructed. Can be used as a budget sideboard card against Storm. It's okay. It's not a bad card. It has some uses. And here we have our rare for the pack, Hero's Bane. 3 colours, green, green. Hero's Bane enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. 2 colourless, green, green. Put X +1/+1 counters on Hero's Bane where X is its power. So it allows you to double its power for 4 mana. Comes down on turn 5. It's one of those creatures that I can see a lot of new players thinking is amazing and off the charts. It's not a bad creature. It can be quite efficient in limited. I think it could be very strong in limited. In constructed, there's a lot of ways to deal with it. There are more efficient creatures out there. However, it's not awful. It's just not as powerful as it seems at first glance. So, if I was to draft from this pack, I would quite possibly go for my Fleet Feather Cockatrice again. Thanks guys, and until next time.